Whittaker.
Guerreiro.
John Jones.
Guerreiro.
Jamal Hill.
Bom.
Yuri Prohaska.
Muito bom.
Israel Adesanya.
Guerreiro.
Khamzat Chimaev.
A heated rivalry is unfolding between C at CHV and Alex Pereira, driven by fiery insults, brawl muckouts, and a fiercely divided fan base. The undefeated B has set his sights on the two-division UFC champion. But now the question is, has his trash talk backfired? Stay tuned as we break down the controversy, fan reactions, and what could become one of the most explosive showdowns in UFC history.
You watched the second Pereira Adesanya fight. He was getting to his calf again.
Yeah, I know.
Like, God damn it, he's getting me again. He's so good at hiding it. He stands like this. He's got this like weird way of standing where he's almost kind of square to you. And when he kicks, he just throws the leg.
Yeah.
So the shoulders don't swing. There's none of this stuff. It's just thump, thump. It's not as hard as he can hit you, but it doesn't matter. It's as quick as he can hit you and as sneakily as he can hit you. And he's hitting that same spot again and again and again.
It all started in 2023 when Alex Pereira made bold remarks about Khamzat Chimaev during an interview ahead of his fight with Israel Adesanya. Pereira didn't hold back, referring to Chim as a dogs, a hole in Portuguese, while discussing UFC fighters. Surprisingly, the Beau remained silent, at least for a while.
Out Boatan. Israel Adesanya had a lot of pressure going into his fourth fight against his rival and champion Alex Pereira, and the fight did not disappoint. It was a tight stand-up battle going into the second round, but with just under 1 minute left in round 2, Israel Adesanya was getting swarmed, but fired back with 2 right hands and put Boatan to sleep to regain his championship. With the two being 1-1 in MMA, do we want to see one more fight? Because otherwise, the rivalry ends when Israel Adesanya...
Fast forward to 2024, and Khamzat Chimaev has finally fired back, where it hurt the most. Taking to X, he posted images of Alex Pereira's only UFC loss, a brutal knockout by Israel Adesanya at UFC 287. But it wasn't just the pictures that grabbed attention. It was the captions Chim taunted Pereira with. Wake up, followed by a laughing emoji, mocking the former champ to add insult to injury. He even twisted Pereira's iconic catchphrase, replacing Poten with stammer, and adding a fist emoji, turning the rivalry up a notch.
By saying Sama with a fist emoji. Brutal, right?
It's most easily fight for me in the UFC.
You think you versus Alex is the easiest fight for you in the UFC?
Yeah, in my career, brother.
How long does it last in your opinion?
First round, first minute.
Easy.
Easy.
Do you think he beats?
No punch, not.
Here's the twist. Chim may be talking trash, but he knows exactly how dangerous Pereira is in an interview with Michael Bisping. He admitted the possibility of getting knocked out cold. I know the guy can knock me out. You know, he knocks out everyone, Chim acknowledged. However, he remained confident, insisting that his wrestling could make this an easy fight. Bold words from the BS, but can he really handle Pereira's power? Love him or hate him? Khamzat Chimaev NOS have stood the PO, but if the UFC books this fight, will he back up his words? Or will Alex Pereira put another rival to sleep? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you have in this potential war? Meanwhile, John Jones is fuming after completely dismantling Stipe Miocic at UFC 309. You'd think he'd finally get the respect he deserves. But Miocic just snubbed him in the baddest man debate, choosing Francis Ngannou over him. And let's just say, Jones did not take it well. Is this the beginning of a new rivalry? Or is Miocic still bitter about his BR loss? Let's break it all down.
You know, it's crazy that you mentioned Alex then, because somebody was talking to me and said, who do you think that is out there that could be Alex? And I said, you know what? Call me crazy. I said, but Khamzat at 205. Yeah. I think you have the style. Is that something you think about? Or like maybe
of course, I win. I've been always open for that. So I know stylistically is much for me, much easier than other guys. You know, so because by striking, I'm honest. I know the guy can knock me out. You know,
yeah, of course.
Everyone. I know the guy is good striker, one of the best guy who was hardest punches. But I'm one of the best grappler, best wrestler.
Yeah.
He's not that.
Sure.
So
it'd be an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
And since he's standing across the octagon, is there no one else? Is there no one else? You're talking to a
Love it.
Former baddest man on the planet. Would you consider that to be Francis right now, or would you consider that to be John Jones right now?
I mean, I would go Francis just because, he's doing great. With his boxing, I would go Francis.
There is nothing you can do to stop me from coming at you round after round with the most malicious techniques I know. You will lose this fight, Daniel Cormier. I want you to believe it. Every ounce of training you put in leading up to this fight will be a waste of your life.
I know what to do. Yeah. Then come back for you.
Been inside the octagon with Francis Ngannou. If we ever got that fantasy matchup, who do you think would win? Who was more powerful inside the cage?
Well, Francis, he's got great power. He's getting better every fight. With Jones, he's one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. He's just smart, real tricky. But Francis, always comes with a game plan, but also he's got thunder in his fist. So that's a tough fight. I think John would keep his distance. He do well, get him down to the ground. But if Francis connects, all over.
Well, you're the former baddest man on the planet. Would you consider that to be Francis right now, or would you consider that to be John Jones right now?
I mean, I would go Francis just because, he's doing great. With his boxing, I would go Francis.
Fisher, because he stopped me. He did what Tyson Fury couldn't done, And, he wasn't my day, and he's just way better than me today.
That daddy to sign the paper for you, so you can come back. Tell your daddy to release you.
Francis Ngannou reacts to John Jones beating Stipe Miocic. Francis Ngannou was impressed by John Jones finishing Stipe Miocic at UFC 309. Ngannou tweeted, "Jones looked great out there tonight. Congrats, Johnny boy. I see you."
When you watch the video of him and Cormier, and they don't know that they're live being filmed.
Oh my God.
And Cormier says, "I gotta come over there and spit in your fucking face right now."
I wish they would let me next door so I can spit in your face.
And John Jones says, "I would kill you."
You know I would absolutely kill you if you ever did something like that.
You
right?
could never kill me.
I'm not saying it. I would kill you.
I would literally kill you if you spit in my face.
Yeah, let's try that, John.
John Jones has German Shepherd dogs that can do all the attack shit, shoots guns. John Jones has a very
comes back and beats Cyril Gane like that easily. In my opinion, he does the same thing to Francis. What? 100% does the same thing to Francis. Francis didn't want to fight John.
Do you believe John Jones was afraid of Francis?
Not only is John Jones not afraid of Francis, John Jones is the baddest fighter to ever live. Ever. In any combat sport. John Jones is undefeated. Never lost, and he went through murderer's row.
Yeah.
Then he goes out for 3 years, right? Sits out for 3 years, comes back, and beats
Cyril
Gane. Like that. Easily. In my opinion, he does the same thing to Francis.
What?
100%. Does the same thing to Francis. John Jones, Francis didn't want to fight John Jones. John Jones is the scariest, most badass fighter of all time.
Who do you think would win? Who was more powerful inside the cage?
Well, Francis, he's got great power. He's getting better every fight. With Jones, he's as good as one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. He's just smart, real tricky. But with Francis, always comes with a game plan, but also he's got thunder in his fist. So that's a tough fight. I think John would keep his distance. He do well, get him down to the ground. But if Francis He keeps saying he doesn't want Aspinall.
Aspinall need that fight. I don't need it. When you look at it, pretty much true. There's nothing that he's going to make winning that fight if it's not money. But for Aspinall, that will be everything.
Would you rather see him face Aspinall or would you rather see him face Pereira?
Aspinall will be a more challenging fight because Aspinall respond to a ground game better than Pereira. Aspinall will respond better in wrestling than Pereira. And you can do whatever you want.
John Jones behind the scene is not a guy that turns down fights.
Would you guarantee 100% we see that fight?
Yeah, I'll say 100%.
On the equation, the interim young guy coming in, interim heavyweight champion. If that matchup does get booked with him and John Jones, what's the best advice you'd give Tom Aspinall?
Don't do what I did.
Avoid the liver shot.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But I think Tommy, that guy, he's super tough and he hits hard. He moves well. He's a big man. I think that he stays calm on the situation and whatever happens, he just stays calm. I think he'll be fine. He picks his shots. He's smart what he does, and I think he'll be fine.
Many fighters said when John Jones goes against you in the octagon, they forgot their game plan. So how do you control your emotions, Mr. Tom?
Well, experience, for one. Breathing exercises, another good way. Training hard in the gym. Training smart in the gym. And having that confidence that you've done everything that you need to do to win a fight. So sometimes it's just down to the MMA gods if you win or not. Do you know what I mean? You've done everything in the gym. Sometimes you just got to relax and enjoy it when you get in there.
D309 took place this past Saturday, and John Bones Jones once again reminded everybody that he not only is arguably the greatest fighter of all time, but he can make the case that he is the best fighter living today. He knocked out Stipe Miocic, the former two-time UFC heavyweight champion, by a spinning back kick in the third round. It was unbelievable. Even though John has been dominant, he knows that Tom Aspinall does present real issues for John Jones. As well as John Jones has looked at heavyweight, Tom Aspinall is just as good, if not better. We haven't seen Tom be tested by a guy like John, but if anybody can ever definitively beat John Jones, I think Tom Aspinall is that guy.
The interim young guy coming in, interim heavyweight champion. If that matchup does get booked with him and John Jones, what's the best advice you'd give Tom Aspinall?
Don't do what I did.
Avoid the liver shot.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But I think Tommy, that guy, he's super tough and he hits hard. He moves well. He's a big man. I think that he stays calm on the situation, and whatever happens, he just stays calm. I think he'll be fine. He picks his shots.
Couple of fight questions that Schmo wants to ask you, because now you've been inside the octagon with John Jones, you've been inside the octagon with Francis Ngannou. If we ever got that fantasy matchup, who do you think would win? Who was more powerful inside the cage?
Well, Francis, he's got great power. He's getting better every fight. With Jones, he's as good as one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. He's just smart, real tricky, but with Francis, he always comes with a game plan, but also he's got thunder in his fist. So that's a tough fight. I think John would keep his distance. He would do well, get him down to the ground. But if it's all over.
Well, you're the former baddest man on the planet. Would you consider that to be Francis right now, or would you consider that to be John Jones right now?
I'd go with Francis just because he's tearing it up. He's doing great and with his boxing.
Load up and leave these big openings.
Brock Lesnar or Stipe Miocic?
Stipe Miocic.
Stipe Miocic or Cain Velasquez?
Stipe Miocic.
Stipe Miocic or Alistair Overeem?
Stipe.
Stipe Miocic or Daniel Cormier?
Stipe again.
Stipe Miocic or Alex Pereira?
Stipe.
Stipe Miocic or Tom Aspinall?
Stipe.
Stipe Miocic or Cyril Gahn?
Stipe.
Stipe Miocic or John Jones?
Let's go with Stipe again.
Stipe Miocic or Renan Ferreira?
I think Renan is very young. He's talented, but he's young, so we go with Stipe.
Stipe Miocic or Francis Ngannou?
Francis Ngannou.
Jones's response came swiftly through social media, with a seemingly dismissive "of course" story on Instagram. But the brevity of his response spoke volumes about how these comments might have struck a nerve with the heavyweight champion.
What are your thoughts on John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, and if they fought, who do you think would win?
Joe Jones. Tom Aspinall has the advantage of the really fast attacks, but if the John will be prepared if he will have the good preparation, he will defend every his attack from Tom.
And it's weird how the fan base switches up, because John's been on top, #1, 20 years, and then a new big guy comes around, John goes to heavyweight, and they just forget history.
That's it, man. This is the truth. In this age, I think many people just don't care about what's happened. They really fast forget about the history.
It'd be nice to see that one. We're all not sure if it's going to happen. But I'm sure John will come back, and Dana said he's not fighting anyone unless it's Tom Aspinall if he comes back.
Anderson Silva, prime Anderson Silva.
Footwork.
Frankie Edgar, I think.
Head kicks.
Yeah, maybe come on.
Creativity.
Prime Conor McGregor.
Speed.
Myself, I think.
Power.
Francis Ngannou.
Trash talking.
I'm really into trash talking, I wouldn't want to trash talk like anyone, but I think the best trash talk in the game was Conor McGregor.
Mentality.
This fighter of all time, John Jones, a man on a mission.
Hospitals and insurance companies across the United States hide their prices so they can overcharge patients without any accountability. X-rays, no price. Blood tests, no price. Surgery, no price. But bills that'll knock you out.
It's like being forced to sign a blank check.
This is our health. This is our money. This is our fight for real prices and transparency in healthcare. Power to the patients.
What's up, everybody? This is UFC heavyweight champion of the world, John Bones Jones, and I'm out here in Minnesota watching the Gophers do their thing. Let's go Gophers.
This fighter of all time, John Jones, a man on a mission.
Hospitals and insurance companies across the United States hide their prices so they can overcharge patients without any accountability. X-rays, no price. Thanks for joining me today. This next fight for me is a personal one, but it's not just for me. It's for every American who's ever been bullied, robbed, or deceived. This is arguably the most important fight of my career. My next opponent will be the American healthcare system. I'll be joining Power to the Patients to take on hospitals, PBMs, and insurance companies that refuse to show us their prices so that they can overcharge us while raking in enormous profits. We should know that an MRI can cost $600 or $6,000 so that we can avoid overpaying. In America, we shouldn't have to advocate for honesty and accountability in healthcare, but here we are. It's time we all fight for real prices and transparency in healthcare. God bless America, and power to the patients.
You suck.
Let me tell you what I don't suck at is, you saw already, you were crying. I came last because his shoulder. So.
Well, I'm gonna prove to you.
You know what? Actually, you know what? I don't want to be a commentator. I just want to make you cry backstage again.
You just want to beat me as I want to beat you, but I'm still gonna be a commentator.
I want to beat
Yeah, you want to. You won't do it again.
I already beat
But you're not gonna beat me
Oh,
on Saturday
you're
night.
not gonna beat me. Okay, sure, Daniel. Okay.
Fans, please welcome to